Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, everybody? What's up with it? What's up with it? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing good. What's up? What's up, Michael? Was Worthy's injury orchestrated by Taylor Swift and Kelce? Been reading some wild incel conspiracy theories. Yeah, 100%. You see that when they're on the podcast together, how Taylor was talking a little too positively about Xavier Worthy, and now Travis takes him out. It was orchestrated by Travis Hunter. Travis Kelce. What's up? David Njoku, Tyrone Tracy, Mark Andrews, Jerome Ford. I need to start two of these players. Who do you start? I would start both tight ends, Mark Andrews and David Njoku. I think both of those guys could score touchdowns. Thank you for everything you do. I need a quarterback. Thank you, Vince. I appreciate you. Quarterback, wide receiver. May and Diggs or Samuel and Daniels. I mean, I would prefer to have Daniels and Diggs, right? But you can only have one. I guess it would be May and Diggs. That's true. What the fuck? Should I drop Tillman for Thielen? I would not do that yet. What's up, Rel? How you doing? Aaron Jones or Travis Hunter? I'm going Travis Hunter, Reinhardt. What up? What up? What it? Yo, how you doing, Walter? Are we confident Diggs is going to play with the injury? You're suspicious. Stefon Diggs. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything that says he's not going to play. I don't see anything that says that they're sitting him. Stefon Diggs, Roto World. What's up, everybody? Fins up, Jacob. Fins up. Let's see here. We're doing all the research here live. I thought he's not on the injury report, so he's going to play. I do understand thinking maybe this won't be his best game because it's his first game back, and that's kind of how I see it too, but I think Diggs is fine. I have an open roster spot. Pick up Garendo. You have CMC and B-Rob. Thanks, my boy. If you have an open spot, go right ahead and do that. Based on what I've read, Christian McCaffrey is going to play. Now, my expectation right now on McCaffrey would be a little bit lower than it would have been a couple of days ago when I thought he was 100% healthy. But if they're going to roll McCaffrey out there, you're going to start him, right? Even if you think that's not going to be his best game, dude, the guy can, even on a limited snap share, could easily score 20 plus fantasy points. Pearsall, DeAndre Swift, or J.K. Dobbins. Pearsall, Etienne or Dobbins. I would go Dobbins. Tyrone Tracy, Jerome Ford, or Rome Odunze. Odunze. Pearsall, Sutton, Henderson at the flex. I would go Sutton. What's up, Jacob? Fins up, baby. MHJ over JMO, but over under Green Bay, Detroit, New Orleans, Arizona. Non-PPR. I don't really play the over-under significantly into each scenario. We talk about it in the videos. I think it is something to discuss, right? But the reason why the New Orleans, Arizona over-under isn't super high is because the New Orleans offense as a whole is just not good. So that's why. I think MHJ has the upside to score a touchdown, maybe even two in this game. This should be a huge game out of him. And JMO, that might end up being a game where JMO is kind of gone missing. Start two, full PPR, Tyreek Hill, Demont, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift. Great question. I go Tyreek and Demont. Between Demont and DeAndre Swift, it's kind of a toss-up, though. Debo, Pearsall, or Flowers, got to go Pearsall. Should I not be worried about Pacheco? I still have Gibbs. Okay, my opinion on what happened with Pacheco, we'll talk about this tomorrow as well. People will ask, what is my opinion on the game that happened in Brazil? Pacheco looked good. The numbers were not good. Important to understand the distinction. The reason why he didn't play well was because the usage wasn't very good. They were using Kareem Hunt. They were using Brashad Smith, and it was very frustrating. But in my opinion, I think if Pacheco, look, he could shit the bed again next week too and outscore a lot of fantasy points, but the team's going to quickly realize, hey, this is the best running back on the team. And hopefully the Chiefs offense figures things out. They're not getting smashed. Will I love Pacheco next week? Probably not. But I don't think it's like DEFCON 5 on Pacheco, in my opinion. Demetrius, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. Demetrios. I appreciate you. Hey, Nick, 10-man, non-PPR, Diggs or Flowers? Thanks. All right, so in non-PPR, the way I try and think of things is it's a lot more simple than in full PPR or half PPR. In standard, you're kind of just hoping for that touchdown, right? You're thinking who's more likely to score, Flowers or Diggs. Now, obviously, the yards help, but Diggs getting 10 targets compared to Flowers 7 doesn't matter as much, right? In my humble opinion, it just does not matter as much. But I think in this scenario, that pushes me towards going with Zay Flowers. Now, Zay Flowers on any given week is one of the most boom or bust wide receivers in fantasy. He could be completely lost in this game. There could be a lot of Derrick Henry, a lot of Mark Andrews, and kind of Zay Flowers is lost in the fray. But I believe there's going to be a high scoring game on Sunday Night Football. I think both of these offenses are juggernauts in the AFC and the NFL as a whole. So I would go with Flowers just because I think Flowers has the better chance of scoring, the better chance of having the bigger game in a standard league. Now, if this was full or half PPR, I would go with Diggs because I feel a lot safer about Diggs' volume. But for week 1, in your scenario, I'm going to go with Flowers. The safe answer is still Diggs because Diggs will probably get you at least 60, 70 yards where Flowers could just get you 20 yards. But I think Flowers could get 20 yards and a touchdown, but it wouldn't be 20 yards. It'd probably be like 50 or 60 just off one play. So I would go Flowers. That's a good question. That's a very, very, very good question. I'm going Flowers. Walter John McGowan, thank you so much for the super chat. This channel makes content so great that Hawk to a girl's mouth would run dry from overworking. Thanks for all of your hard work, sir. Let's win some championships. Appreciate your help. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you. You guys see the memes of Dak Prescott getting hit by the Hawk to a girl when Carter spit on him? I thought that was funny. But thank you so much, Walter. That really means a lot. Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoy. That's the most important thing, is to have fun. Fantasy football, I know our goal is to win, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're having fun doing it. So I do really appreciate that. And I hope you guys, wish you guys all the best this week. This is going to be one of the weird. Week 1 is always probably the weirdest week. Like, we've already seen so many studs that you guys love, right? Just get absolutely blanketed. AJ Brown does nothing. Xavier Worthy gets whacked instantly right off the jump. Pacheco shits the bed. Hampton kind of meh, right? There's going to be a lot of really weird performance. Quentin Johnston scoring 2 touchdowns alone just tells you how weird week number 1 is. So it's very important for everyone in this chat not to panic about what happens in week 1. Week 1 is the number 1 week where everyone panics. So thank you again, Walter. I really appreciate you. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. All right. Full PPR, and your comment was very funny too. I appreciate that. Tyrone Tracy, TJ Hawkinson, Diggs. I would play Diggs. Still worth stashing Jadon Blue. I'm fine stashing him because Miles Sanders looked like ass. I played Chase Brown and Travion Harrison at bench Javonte Williams. Am I cooked? No. Look, yeah, Javonte Williams scoring 2+ touchdowns is also enough to tell you that that game was crazy. Diggs or Debo? Diggs. Tyrone Tracy, Debo, or Chris Olave in the flex spot. I would go Tracy, but I'd be fine if you went Debo too. Debo, Pearsall, or Flowers. Got to go Pearsall. Tyrone Tracy, Jerome Ford, Mark Andrews, David Njoku, Odunze. Oh yeah, Odunze too. I would go Odunze and David Njoku. Should I trade Jamison Williams and Jalen Warren for Mike Evans? Yes. Tyrone Tracy, Bigsby, Charbonnet starting. I would play Tyrone Tracy. For anyone looking for the gem of the waiver wire, wide receiver Trey Tucker. I think Trey Tucker could have a big game. I am more on the Dante Thornton bandwagon, though. And that is true. If you super chat, you instantly cut the line, just like Samuel just did. 14 team, 2 wide receiver. Thank you, Samuel. I really appreciate you. 2 wide receiver, 1 flex, PPR, Adams or Waddle. Great question. Now, I like Waddle's game environment up against the Indianapolis Colts. The Dolphins under Tua are undefeated in week number 1, and the offense typically looks very good in week number 1. Started Worthy and Hampton yesterday, so I'm hurting right now. I need the most upside possible to possibly win the matchup this week, deciding between Adams and Waddle. I think they both have similar upside, so I'll just go with the guy I've ranked higher, and that would be Devontae Adams. Davante Adams, any given week, has the upside of scoring not just one touchdown, multiple touchdowns. I understand that Stafford does, in a way, you can't be 100% confident in Stafford, but ultimately, I feel way more confident in Adams compared to Waddle. I think Davante Adams is going to feast in this game. I think Davante Adams is going to come out jump street, and people are going to be really surprised that he still looks that good, that he is that heavily used, even with Puka Nacua in the offense. So I would go Davante Adams. I think Davante Adams has bigger upside than Waddle, in my opinion, because I think week 1, you're going to see a lot of Tyreek. You're going to be, even with Stingley on him all game. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that, dude. Davante Adams literally can beat any corner. Davante Adams made my man Jalen Ramsey look like a fool last year. Davante Adams is that good. I don't really worry about matchups when it's a guy like Davante Adams. I get Davante Adams a little bit older. Waddle probably has worse coverage on him, right? But Tua just locks into Tyreek a lot of times, and this kind of feels like the game where they're trying to get that narrative of, oh, Tyreek quit on the team, all that bullshit. So I think we'd see a game where Puka and Adams both get double-digit touchdowns. Double digits. They should score 10 touchdowns each. I know that's not what you meant, but yeah, I think there's a scenario where the season ends and both Adams and Puka Nacua are top 8 wide receivers. So I do feel very confident in Davante Adams. And it's not to say that I dislike Waddle either. I think Waddle will be fine, but I think you're going to see a lot of Adams in this game. And if CJ Stroud can keep up, this could be a very high-scoring game, even though I like both the defenses. Go Raiders. Yeah, that's true, Michael. That's a very fair breakdown of things. Yo, Nick, what do you think about starting Tet and Golden this week? I Bijan, Puka, and Judy with Kittle and JD5 already going. Yeah, I like that. I think that's fine. What are you predicting happens with Keon Coleman? Okay, Twitter is saying, and this is like a report from a beat reporter of the Bills from The Athletic, Keon Coleman is the number 1 receiver on the Bills. So let's see it. Let's see it. Is he the number 1 receiver or not? Because right now, if you try to trade Keon, realistically, you could send the guy the report. Oh, they say this. It's just a report. It could easily be Fugaz. He could easily be the same guy he was last year, which just wasn't super involved with the offense. So I would hold him personally, unless your league mate's going to buy off of the chance that Keon Coleman's that good, right? If your league mate read that report, otherwise just keep him. Thank you for the super chat again, Demetrios. I appreciate you. Rate my team. Quarterback Dak and Goff, A-Chain, Chase Brown, Stevenson, Trey Benson, wide receiver Lamb, Hill, Diggs, Flowers, Pickens, tight end Njoku, Ingram, kicker Fairbairn, defense Bengals. Thank you. I love it. I love your team. Personally, I think what you probably should do is once Pickens or Diggs have a really big game, you probably want to, since this is a standard league. Oh, no, never mind. This is a PPR league. Never mind. There was a different question that I was answering earlier. Oh, yeah, no, this is a standard league, non-PPR. So I love that you have A-Chain. I love that you have Chase Brown. If you are potentially able to get a third running back to be your flex instead of like relying on Diggs, Pickens, Flowers weekly, I would feel very good about that. But honestly, your team's very good. You have 2 elite running backs. You have Lamb, who's obviously an elite wide receiver. You have Hill, Diggs, Pickens, and Flowers. 4 other shots at wide receivers that I believe have top 10 upside. Maybe not Flowers, but on a season-long basis. But yeah, I like your team a lot. I like that you have Njoku and Ingram. I think your team is very good. Very, very, very good. Once Dak figures it out after this week, I think that your team's looking mighty fine again. The only real adjustment that I would try to make, you have the elite tight end, is just if Pickens or Diggs blows up and they have that big game, and maybe one of those other running backs like the James Conner, right? Maybe he shits the bed. Your league mates are panicking. You want to move in that way. I would be fine with that. But otherwise, I think your team is very good. For a 10-team league, this looks, I would say, better than average because you do have the elite tight end, and you have 2 elite tight ends potentially in Ingram and Njoku. So I like your team a lot. I think you did a very good job. So congrats on that. Some people send me their teams. I don't like them that much. And I would not lie straight to your face and be like, oh, I like this team if I don't like it, but I do like your team Should I start James Conner or Jerry Judy? Week 1, I'm going Conner. I really like the matchup up against the Saints. I think James Conner is going to have a very big game. Now, Jerry Judy also could have a big game, right? Because Jerry Judy's matchup up against the Bengals is also very exploitable. But I just feel a little bit safer with James Conner because, look, Jerry Judy hasn't really given us this long laundry list repertoire. I don't know if repertoire is the correct word, but that CVS receipt of being great, right? He had a season with the Broncos where he was okay. Last year, he was better than okay in Cleveland. James Conner has a laundry list, a career of putting up big numbers. So I would personally feel good about James Conner up against the Saints defense. Next question here from Arthur. Thank you so much for the super chat. David Montgomery, Jalen Warren, Juwan Jennings, or Odunze for the flex spot. Full PPR. I'm leaning with either Warren or Monty, but curious what you think. I like the vids, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And everyone knows about the CVS receipts, dude. You go to CVS. I go to CVS all the time. Walgreens. The receipt that they give you, it murdered 12 trees just giving you one of those. And I know it's like a popular joke. People say it all the time, but it is like legitimately true. My opinion on that would be to go with Odunze. Why would I go with Odunze? The Minnesota Vikings defense last season was so bad against receivers. They allowed the most amount of points to wide receivers in fantasy football. Now, I get people will say this, Nick, last year doesn't necessarily translate to the next year. And that's true. Okay. That is a very true statement. There's a reason why, because Saquon Barkley was the RB-X last year. It's not going to guarantee that he's that this year, right? Same thing with every other player. But I do think Rome Odunze is in for a huge matchup. I understand that he's not very safe, right? Based upon what we saw last season. So if you just want to be as safe as possible and you're like, you know what? I want to play Montgomery because Montgomery's getting you 10 plus points. I'm fine with that if that's your thought process, which is fair. That's a very fair point. But I think Odunze could legitimately score 20 plus points. We heard everything Ben Johnson said in the offseason was just so positive about Odunze, about how he can work out there on the field. Anything outside the numbers, he can catch it. He can run every route. It seems like they love Rome Odunze. I get that David Montgomery has years of being so valuable for you, and Odunze, if you had him last year, was pretty bad, frankly. But I think Odunze is going to break out, so I feel very good about Odunze up against the Vikings. It's too good of a matchup for me to avoid, so I'm going Odunze. Thank you, Anthony, for the super chat as well. Thank you again, Arthur. Anthony says, what is your opinion on Pacheco year long as an RB2? Look, game one game in, what I saw on the field out of his ability to play football looked good. I thought Pacheco looked good. Let's pull up his exact numbers. Now, again, I get that he did not play well for fantasy, right? His number on the stat sheet was not good enough for fantasy. I have him on multiple of my teams. I really like Isaiah Pacheco. The numbers he put up were not good. He scored 4.8 PPR points. He had 5 carries for 25 yards, and then 2 targets, 2 receptions on 3 targets for 3 yards. He was averaging 5 yards per carry. If the Chiefs get better, it might take some time. When the Chiefs are the Chiefs that you're used to, and they're able to run the ball more, and they're not, look, Kareem Hunt got a lot of touches. Kareem Hunt did not look good. In my opinion, Kareem Hunt did not pass the eye test. In my opinion, Rashad Smith didn't look great either. Pacheco looked like the best back. Could they be easing him in from the injury? I think that's possible. The team also kind of was getting smacked around. Bad game script for Pacheco. So next week, going up against the Eagles, I believe the matchup is. That's scary, right? Next week, do I feel 100% confident in him as my RB2? Fuck no. I do not. But I wouldn't panic and trade him for a half-eaten bag of potato chips off of one matchup. Against a pretty good run defense, too. So I think when push comes to shove, you might be worried this week. You might be worried next week. But ultimately, I think Pacheco will bounce back. He clearly looked like the best running back on the team. So I think he's going to be fine. It might take some time. You might feel like you wasted your pick. But I think a few weeks from now, you'll be feeling good about Pacheco. Because, again, he looked good, in my opinion, playing football. 2/3 running backs to start. Kyron, Bucky, James Conner. Great question. Those are 3 guys that you want to be playing virtually every week, right? But you're not able to do that, and that's fine. So for me, Bucky is in the must start range. What I mean by must start is clear top 10 running back. Like locked and loaded. I feel good regardless of the matchup. The matchup is up against the Atlanta Falcons. I think he's going to do great. I feel very confident in him. So the question is basically Kyren or James Conner. Now, I like Kyren a ton. I think up against Houston, he could score multiple touchdowns. We already know Kyren's the kind of guy that'll just score 3 touchdowns. It doesn't really matter at all about how good the defense is. Kyren just scores. He lives in the end zone. James Conner, though, has a wet dream matchup against the Saints. The Saints defense is not good. So for me, it's easily James Conner. I think the Arizona Cardinals should be beating down on the Saints, beating them like a redheaded stepchild, just laying into them relentlessly, hammer fist. If you guys watched, who was it against Bobby Green? Does anyone know what I'm talking about in the UFC? Where was it Bobby? I think it was Bobby Green, where the guy beat the shit out of him. He was knocked out, and they just kept punching him. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I don't remember who it was against him, but that's the kind of finish I think that the Cardinals are going to have in this game. I don't think the Cardinals are going to be great this year, but I do think up against the Saints, I mean, this is just going to be a dominant matchup. So, yeah, they could easily score. Like James Conner could score 30 points in this game, and it wouldn't surprise me. So I feel much better about James Conner compared to Kyren. I have them in the same tier, but my confidence level in Conner is definitely higher. So Bucky and Conner for me. Next question. Roxford, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Wandale, DeMario Douglas, Dylan Sampson. Great question. Week one, I would go with. That's a tough question. That is a tough question. I don't think I want to play Dylan Sampson. I like Dylan Sampson, but week one, I bet you Ford gets 60-ish% of the snaps, and the Bengals could just be beating them silly. So I don't love that. Wandale, when you play Wandale, you're kind of just being like, okay, I'm going to get 1 million targets, and he's going to score like 9 fantasy points. He's probably not going to score 30 fantasy points. He's probably not going to score 20 fantasy points, but he'll be okay. Right? He'll be okay. Douglas, though, he's been getting a lot of hype this summer. So I would go Douglas. If you just want to be safe, play Wandale. I'm going to go DeMario Douglas, though. I think DeMario Douglas could score 12, 15-ish points. I think Wandale's pretty capped at like 10. He just doesn't score touchdowns. I could see DeMario Douglas in the end zone. So I'm going to go DeMario time out of those 3. Next question. What are your thoughts on Hampton going forward? I feel the same way about Hampton as I feel about Pacheco. And what I mean by that is, well, I guess I feel better about Hampton than I do Pacheco. But based on what we saw out of Omarion Hampton, I think it's pretty clear that Omarion Hampton is going to be very good. Strictly based on what I saw, he's going to be good. That is a bad matchup against the Chiefs. And he only scored 8 fantasy points, but he had 15 carries. And he's the clear lead back there. Like, he didn't have the best game ever. He didn't average 5 yards per carry, but the team put the ball in his hands. They didn't say, hey, Najee, you get 1 million carries, right? They didn't do that. They ran the rock with Hampton repeatedly. And even though they did look very pass heavy compared to what I thought, he still got 15 carries and he had 2 receptions, 2 targets. So I feel very good about Omarion Hampton. And again, he's a rookie. It might take some time, but if you watch that game and your takeaway was anything except for positive for Hampton, I think you're a little bit crazy. I feel very good about Hampton. Sometimes it takes time, but yeah, he looked good. The offense looked great. I mean, the fact that they went out there and punched the Chiefs in the mouth repeatedly makes me feel very good about the Chargers. And it was shocking, though, in my opinion, that they were such a heavy pass attack, because last year Jim Harbaugh really wanted to run the ball, but maybe that's just an extra vote of confidence in it with them having Keenan. and Ladd and QJ. It was very good. But yeah, I feel good about Hampton. Don't panic after that game. That was definitely not a panic mode game. Full PPR, JSN or T-Mac. Man, I want to give you the answer of Tet McMillan. And I love Tet McMillan. I talked him up so heavily. I have JSN 16, Tet 17 in my wide receiver rankings, full PPR. So if you wanted to play Tet, go right ahead. But JSN just has such a healthy floor. He just feels like such a safe bet weekly because of how involved he'll be on the Seattle Seahawks offense. Because, like, let's be honest, like Cooper Kupp, who knows how good he'll be. So up against the 49ers in a game where they probably will be trailing, you're going to see a lot of targets going the way of JSN. So I feel better about JSN than Tet. I think Tet has a huge game, but I think JSN is just a little bit safer, and they have similar upside. So why not just go with the safer bet? So for me, it would be Jackson Smith and Najigba, Mr. JK. That would be my answer. It would be JSN. I like both of them this week, but I'd lean with JSN. It's kind of look, I have JSN in tier 2, Tet in tier 3, but they are ranked back to back, so it's very, very, very close. Look, if you drafted Christian McCaffrey, you are going to fucking play him. Okay? I don't care what you think about what's going to happen. As if he steps on the field, I'm playing him. If he gets 5 fantasy points, whatever. It's whatever. If he scores 5 fantasy points, I don't care. I'm playing him. I'm playing him because the second you sit Christian McCaffrey and he plays, he's scoring 30 fucking fantasy points. If you sit him, you're guaranteeing that he scores 30 fantasy points. If you drafted him in the first round, you're going to play him. You don't bench your first round draft pick because you're scared, okay? That's my opinion on things. Now, I don't think Kyle's necessarily wrong to be nervous about him, okay? I don't think it's wrong to be nervous about Christian McCaffrey. I get it. I'm a little bit nervous too. But when you fucking put your first round, you put your nuts on the table, you just think he's going to get injured. He is already injured going into the game. But you drafted him, you're going to play him. You can't sit him. Okay? That's my opinion. That is my opinion. That is my opinion. Is the audio fucked up, Spock? Is that what you're saying that? I'm not like fully in the chat. I'm kind of clicking around. Yeah, I agree. Christian McCaffrey. My audio is not the best. I fully understand that. I need to buy a better microphone. That's the play next year. Buy a better microphone. Should we drop Worthy? No, don't drop Worthy. You can't drop Worthy. Now, if Worthy's out for the season, you cut him. Oh no, the guy's name is audio. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, you can't drop Worthy until they say Worthy is out for the season. Found out the Falcons give up 27 fantasy points to opposing team running backs. Yeah, I mean, I like that too. I can. My audio is fine. I know my audio is fine. Some people's audio just sounds better. You know what I'm saying? That's really the thing on YouTube is the camera, the audio are like the two most important things. So I try to get as good as possible. Yeah, make sure you guys are in the Discord. Bigsby or Bill Nye the Science Guy? Bill. I'd go Bigsby. Yeah, make sure you guys are in the Discord. Yo, Nick, do I drop JCM for Judkins? No idea what to do. He's on the waiver wire. I would hold JCM strictly because if JCM becomes the starting running back on the Commanders, having the starting running back on the Commanders is roughly 9,000 times better than having the starting running back on the Browns. But I think Judkins has the clearer path to becoming the clear running back one. But Judkins also can get suspended. Judkins also can not look good. Oh, you can put Worthy on IR. Okay, never mind. Yeah, pick up Keenan Allen. I agree. Good luck. Have fun. Thank you, Chuckleberry. Yeah, it could easily be 5 points. Look, I drafted McCaffrey I think I drafted him in the fan league number 1, the subscriber league. Playing up against my dad, I'm playing McCaffrey. I'm not sitting him. Now I get why you would be nervous to play him, but I'm playing him. I agree. Yeah, it's going to be a good game. Bills-Ravens should be fun. I have Josh Allen on a couple teams, so I'm cheering him on. Would you trade KW3 for Hampton? Probably not. But, I mean, yeah, I would personally. I like Hampton better than Kenneth Walker, but just wait to see what happens after this week and then make that decision. Swift or Pollard? I would play Pollard, but I don't love Pollard this week. Thornton, Cedric Tillman, or Higgins? I'd go Thornton. Hey Nick, would you play Jordan Mason, Mooney, Higgins, or Ollie Gordon? Great question. I would play Jordan Mason. See, look, I know Hampton didn't put up a big game, AC, but I liked what I saw out of the usage of Hampton, so I feel very good about Hampton going forward. Pearsall or Golden moving forward? Pearsall. Full PPR, Swift or Pollard? Pollard. Last time Jacoby Myers played the Patriots, he scored 21 points. Yeah, well, you have to put context into these scenarios, you know what I'm saying? Jacoby Myers played with his quarterback. Tyreek did not play with Tua. That's the biggest difference there. I don't disagree with what you said, though, because the numbers are correct. Pearsall or Golden? Pearsall. Jacoby Myers or Rome? I'd go Rome. I would go Rome. If you want to play Jacoby, look, I'm going to have to move Jacoby Myers up my rankings. I do feel a little bit gross about Jacoby Myers, frankly, because he never seems to have that big game. Like, he always just seems to be, all reliable. I'm going to put him at 30. I don't know if I can move him much higher than that. I feel better about Rome. I just like the matchup better. But if you want to go Jacoby Myers, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Yeah, I can put Worthy in the IR. Yeah, go Keenan now. Full PPR, Pollard, Egbuka, Garrett Wilson. I would go Garrett Wilson personally, but I like Egbuka too. I got McCaffrey starting. No, dude. Just take the chance, Josh. As long as he plays. Again, if he's not going to play, then you don't have to play him. Full PPR, Swift or Pollard, I would go Pollard. Can I play Jalen Noel week 1, Christian? Personally, I would say no. I want to see what happens. Yes, the super chat questions do get the priority. Pearsall or Golden moving forward? Pearsall for me. Tyreek's just going to smash this year because he's got another bag for all that child support he has the ball. That is true. That is very true. Last year, he had more kids than touchdowns. Is Godwin worth a bench spot? See, the problem is there have been such different reporting on this situation. Like, the timetable is very different. There's like 2 games, they say. Some people say 6 games. If you don't have an IR spot, I would not love holding him personally. But if you drafted him, go right ahead and hold him. What's up, Rise? Jacoby Myers or Rome? I got Rome. I think Walker could Hulk smash this season. Very concerned about his injury, though. Jerry Judy, Njoku or Egbuka, Kittle's at the tight end. I would go Egbuka. That's funny. The Raiders. Superflex. Would you start Penix or Bryce Young? Bryce Young. I love Bryce Young up against the Jaguars. The Jaguars defense is terrible against quarterbacks. 116 people and only 37 likes. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. Armando, thank you for the question. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any super chats here. Okay. Esteban, I got you next. Start 2, Pollard, J-Mo, Ridley, Monty, Shakir. I would go Monty and Pollard. Tough question because I don't love the matchups for a lot of those guys. Esteban, would you trade Jennings for Charbonnet? I have Kenneth. I don't think I would do that. I get why you would do that because you want the handcuff. And look, I'm going to just say this right now. If you want the handcuff, if you feel like you cannot go the season without having Charbonnet, make the trade. Go ahead and do it. That's fine with me. If you want to have his backup because you're nervous about the injury, go right ahead and make the trade right now. I don't love holding my player's backup. Now, there are a few examples of where I am fine doing it. Charbonnet is one of them. McCaffrey's backups are one of them. I think Juwan Jennings is going to have a big year. I think Ricky can have I think all the 49ers are going to have big years. Frankly, the main guys, because the offense is going to be so good and they have such an easy schedule. So if it's my fantasy team, I am not doing that. But if you want to have his backup, go right ahead and do it. Okay. Go right ahead and do the trade. Get Charbonnet. And if it's going to help you sleep at night, go ahead and do it. Personally, me, no. But yeah, that was a weak Raiders. Yeah, well, dude, it's nighttime. I'm not going to fucking scream Raiders, get the cops called on me. Just a bad time. But yeah, tomorrow I'll give a nice Raiders yell for you guys at like 11 in the morning or something, wake everyone up. Okay. Yeah, I would not do the trade. But again, if you really want Charbonnet, just do it. I'm not hating on you if you accept this trade. Certainly not. Certainly not. T-Mac, Kyron, or Kenneth Walker? What a fucking question that is. What a question that is. I'm going T-Mac. But if you want to be safe, just play Kyron. Bro, Walker's going to Hulk smash. I think it's possible. The Raiders. Pick 2, Egbuka, Marv, JMO. I'd go Egbuka and Marv. Should I drop Loveland and pick up Judkins? Yes. In your scenario, I would. Thank you. No problem, Christian. Pick 2, Egbuka, Marv. Oh, half PPR? Yeah, still same answer. Marv and Egbuka. If CMC is out, do I go Pearsall, Golden, or B-Rob? Pearsall. Pearsall. B-Rob, in my opinion, if McCaffrey misses, this is likely a double-headed dragon of B-Rob and Pearsall that I just don't, not B-Rob and Pearsall, B-Rob and Garendo that I just don't love. So yeah, I'd go Pearsall. And that picture that you have, Elijah, my buddy Mike has that picture hanging on his wall. I don't know if he still has it because after Saquon left the Giants, he might have burned it. But my buddy Mike does have that picture. Golden, Monty, or Eckler, half PPR Golden. Make sure you guys listen to Spock. Should I double stack Allen with Shakir and Coleman, or should I use Jacoby Myers? Yeah, I'm using Jacoby Myers and Shakir. Hope Cardinals defense scores 15 fantasy points. I hope so too. Kraft or Warren? Kraft. 2 wide receiver league. Who am I starting alongside Drake London? Ridley, Pearsall, or Debo? I would go Pearsall and Debo. I have Ridley ranked ahead of Debo, but that's just because I'm kind of biased against Debo. And I do worry about Ridley's matchup, but Ridley is going to get a very safe amount of volume. But yeah, I would go. I'm going to flip them in my rankings. I'm going to flip them right now. I'm flipping that shit. And I'm going to update the rankings tomorrow morning. So if you are a Patreon member, the rankings will be updated in the morning for you. And I'll probably update them again when we get all those injury news. Probably while we're streaming, I'll be messing with it. Are Ayuk and Mixon worth the hold? Yes. Mixon definitely is. I'm not as confident in Ayuk. Yeah, I was hoping Dicker would do better. Juwan Jennings had a better game than Pearsall tomorrow. That's possible, Chuck. I'm not gonna hate on that. Benching CMC is like parking a Lamborghini because you're worried about gas mileage. CMC major concern. My concern on CMC right now, I'll tell you right now, and I'm gonna answer Danny's super chat. Thank you for the super chat. My concern right now, based on everything that we have heard, is a 4 out of 10. You play McCaffrey. If you have him, you just eat. If he screws you over, you eat it. You say, fuck it, I'm playing him. Because if you bench McCaffrey, it's just how fantasy goes. You bench McCaffrey, he plays, he's scoring 25 points. It's just a guarantee because you sat him, because you were too nervous to sit your first or second round pick. You don't do that. You don't get cute in week 1. Now, I get he might be limited. I get he might go out there and score 9 fantasy points. But why risk it with, some of you guys, you might have to start Tank Bigsby. Why the fuck would you start Tank Bigsby? What's up, Ron? Why the hell would you start Tank Bigsby over, CMC or something like that, right? It just doesn't make sense. Danny, thank you so much for the super chat. Is Rashee Rice worth taking up a bench spot? Yes. Xavier Worthy could legitimately be out for the season. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not guaranteeing that he's out for the season. I'm not saying he's out for the season, but he could be. I'm going to just read to you guys some notes about Xavier Worthy that I found on Twitter. I'm going to find him. I'm going to pull him back up. There was a bunch of doctors that tweeted about it. Xavier-Worthy injury. And it will make you guys... Xavier-Worthy. Casey is meticulous when it comes to injury assessment. We may not hear for several days. Determining extent of damage. I still lean shoulder dislocation with likely labral tear. Again, I'm not a doctor. 3+ weeks or season ending. The report says it looked like he couldn't move his right arm. Again, I'm not a doctor. Don't take exactly what I said as the truth. Like, oh, it's a guarantee he's out for the season, but it's possible. When Rashee Rice returns, I said this all summer. When Rashee Rice comes back, he's the number one receiver. I don't give a fuck if Xavier-Worthy's there or not. He's the number one receiver. Said it all summer. Still believe it now. You hold Rashee Rice till you get to the grave, in my opinion. You just hold on to him. Unless a circumstance gets so bad to where you have to cut him, you hold on to him. What's up, Ron, man? I hope you're doing well. So, yeah, hold Rashee Rice. Hold on to him. That was a weak Raiders. Yeah, I know it was. Yeah, you got to keep him. You got to keep him. Me neither, Josh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I just bought Sunday Ticket. Sunday Ticket is so expensive. So expensive, but I honestly don't feel good about coming on here and making my videos if I'm just like watching Red Zone or something, because then I don't get a lot of the actual extent of what's going on the field. That's why I buy it. It's very expensive, though. It's not a ripoff because it is worth it for me, right? I watch every single game. Like, I watch every game every week. I'm locked in, but I get why. I get why it's so expensive, but it is ridiculous. Had Pickens and he busted. So I'm thinking about starting Hunter over Garrett Wilson. No, I don't think that's crazy, because when you're down, the smart move is just hunting for the upside. So I get that. Drop Benson for Io Manor. If you need a receiver, sure. Definitely possible. I think it's possible he does that. Do I start Zay Flowers or Cooper Kupp? Zay Flowers. Yeah, I agree with you, Spock. I have Walker as RB2 in one league. He doesn't have an injury designation. What's the injury? There is no injury to Walker. Did I say that? The thing about Walker is just that he has that injury history past about Kenneth Walker. Gotcha. Well, at least Mahomes didn't go crazy. Who is Jalen Noel? Jalen Noel is the third receiver realistically in Houston on paper, behind Jaden Higgins and behind Nico Collins. Realistically. Do we think Herbert is back or just a week one game plan? Let's see. I would feel better about Herbert now than I did in the summer. Nick, why do you like Herbert in the summer? You might be asking. Because I thought they were just going to run the dog shit out the ball like they did last year. That's what I thought was going to happen. Sue me for thinking that they were going to play similar to last year. They did not. They threw that out into the garbage, and they threw the ball a million times. We'll see what happens, but I do feel way better about Herbert, and I was wrong about Justin Herbert in week one because he didn't perform well. He has really not had that many great games against them in the past. So... And I didn't expect that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think a lot of people did, right? I think even the people that played Herbert did not expect him to look like that in week one. I would be shocked if the people that did play him really thought that was what was going to happen. Trevor Lawrence or Brock Purdy, it's a toss-up. I lean T-Law. Ask the Google AI. Google AI, it always knows. Full PPR, Tank Bigsby or tomorrow. Normally, I would always say the wide receiver safer. I love Tank Bigsby. I am like a number one Tank Bigsby truther. I love Tank Bigsby, dude, but week one, I don't know. You could be seeing a lot of ETN. I don't know. I don't feel good about that. So I'd go to Mario. T-Law or Purdy? I'd go T-Law. It's very close, though. Purdy or Drake May? I would go... I'm going to pull up my rankings. It's close. Like, a lot of these quarterbacks you guys are asking about are super close. Like, we were just talking about T-Law or Purdy. I have T-Law 10, Purdy 11. Drake May, the next question, Drake May or Purdy? I have Purdy 11, Drake May 12. So, yeah, I'd go Purdy. Ertz or Loveland? I'd go Loveland. What's up, Ron? In my opinion, Christian McCaffrey needs to retire. Dog, he's never going to retire. Come on now. Well, he will retire eventually, but he's not retiring this year. He's not retiring. T-Law or Purdy? I'm going T-Law. Ridley or Waddle? Waddle. So why Travis Kelce did that? So what was happening on that play is the reason why they were running towards each other like that is because the plan was for Kelce to go like this and knock the defender off of Worthy, right? Worthy's running this way. They're running, like this. And the goal is for Kelce to bump the defender, Worthy to be wide open. Mahomes throws it to Worthy. Worthy's fast as fuck. Boom! He's gone. That's the goal of the play. That's the goal. Is that what happened? No. That is not what happened, but that was the goal. In my opinion, that had to have been what the game plan was because there's no other reason for Kelce to have done that. Bateman or Jaden Reed for the season? I would say Reed. Garrett Wilson, Tracy, or Dobbins? Garrett Wilson. What's up, Micah? Hey, start 2. Terry, DK, Jameson, Diggs, or Pearsall, and Terry for this week. Thank you, Ron. Warren or Loveland? Warren. Juwan Jennings or Rome? Rome. Hello, Nick. Maurice is back. Hey, what's up, Maurice? How you doing, man? Thank you for your help last year. Shout out to wide receiver DJ Moore or Ricky Pearsall. Ooh, start. I don't know why I said shout out. I would go. Dude, DJ Moore has such a good matchup. So I'm going DJ Moore. I got DJ Moore 19, Ricky 21. Is Najee droppable? Yes. I mean, look, and if you have, I never told people to draft him. I think his touches are going to go up, but I do think he's droppable. David Njoku, Mark Andrews, Tyron Tracy, Rome, Odunze, Jameson Williams. You need 3. Jeremy, you're going Rome. You're going Njoku. I'm going to have to move Njoku up my rankings. So I'm going to do that right now. Njoku's moving up. He's moving to 5. So Njoku. And the rankings will be updated on the Patreon tomorrow. So Rome, Njoku, Andrews. I wish I had ATVs. I got 2. So I'll be watching. And then I'm going to put the Dolphins game or the quad box probably on my laptop. So we'll be watching all the games. I'm a diehard Broncos fan, and I hate the Raiders, but I think it's hilarious the way you said the Raiders. Hope, and I am obviously not the originator of that. Hope the Bills beat the Ravens tomorrow. Definitely possible. Should I trade Micah Parsons for Christian McCaffrey? 100%. 100%. Thoughts on Hollywood Brown? Hollywood Brown feels like you just got the best possible outcome out of what Hollywood Brown can do. But I would keep him. Unless, of course, someone's willing to buy him for like some exorbitant price. So yeah, that would be my opinion on it. Jacoby or Diggs? I moved Jacoby up to 30. I have Diggs 26, so Diggs. I think it was a game strip because they weren't. Yeah, I agree with that. Should I trade Bijan for A-Chain and Kittle? Oh man. I think I would have to do that. Yeah, I would do that. I love Bijan, dude, but Kittle is a top 3 tight end. A-Chain top 10 running back. I'd have to do it. Is Allen Robinson the third joining the Chiefs now? I don't think so. Jacoby Myers, my flex, respect. Pick up Hollywood or the running back from Washington. If you have to play someone, you want Hollywood. But if you could pick up JCM just to see what he could be, I think the upside of JCM is way higher for season long than Hollywood. Yeah, that was crazy. Lawrence or Fields? Lawrence. Bench CMC for Golden. Dude, the thing is, you drafted McCaffrey Eduardo to play him. That's my opinion on things. If you drafted him, you have to play him. Thank you for the super chat. TM money sign NY. Trade Bijan for A-Chain and Kittle. I think I have to. I think I have to do it. It hurts to lose Bijan because I love Bijan Robinson. I have Bijan ranked as my RB1. But realistically, when you put it into, I can't think of the word off the top of my head, but when you put it into context, what you're doing right now is you're trading your first round pick for a second round pick, probably an A-Chain, right? And a third or fourth round pick in Kittle. Would you trade your 102 for an early second and a late third or early fourth? I would. So yes, I would do that. I would do that because I just think Kittle and A-Chain, like A-Chain could be the RB1, Kittle could be the tight end one. Like I think you're very clearly winning that trade, even if it does feel gross to get rid of Bijan. I think I would just have to do it. I think it's a very good 2-for-1. That's a very good payment for Bijan. Now, this is assuming you don't have like Bowers or McBride, right? Or like some other competent tight end like Kelce or something. If you don't, I'm very easily making this trade and getting A-Chain and Kittle. So I would accept that. I'm taking A-Chain and I'm taking Kittle. I like that trade. But a lot of people are going to try to pick up Keenan Allen. I agree with you. That is true, dude. He's going to be reading a book next week. Josh Downs. No problem, Maurice. Josh Downs or Dave Montgomery? Dave Montgomery. Drop B-Rob for Hollywood Brown with the Worthy injury. I want to see what the fuck happens with McCaffrey before I drop B-Rob. Thank you for the super chat. One dose creator, my man. I appreciate you. Just make sure you leave your question in chat. I know YouTube. Oh, it's already up here. YouTube sometimes is very stupid with when you try to like ask a question. If you're including like any slashes or any like tilde slash fucking, I don't even know what the hell all these words are called, but all these symbols are called. But yeah, YouTube is crazy sometimes. So if any of you guys can't type and you're like, why can't I type? That's probably why. Pick 2, full PPR. Warren, Pitts, Jennings, Dobbins. I'm going Jennings. And I'm assuming that's Jalen Warren, or is that Tyler Warren? Can you give me some clarification? Is that Tyler Warren or Jalen Warren? If that's Tyler Warren, I'm going Tyler Warren and Jennings. If that is Jalen Warren, I'm going Pitts and Jennings. I know Pitts, it never feels good to play Kyle Pitts. It never does. But Kyle Pitts owns the Buccaneers. All right. I'm going Tyler Warren, and I'm going Jennings. Tyler Warren appears on paper to be the focal point of the Colts offense outside of Jonathan Taylor. Every single report, and in preseason, was just the ball getting hammered to Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren could catch 8 passes in this game, and I legitimately would not be surprised at all. It's his first ever game, so you know what? Maybe he starts off slow, but I'm going Tyler Warren. I'm going Juwan Jennings. I don't think you can sit Juwan Jennings. Don't think you can. Don't think you can with him being healthy. I don't think you can. So I'm going Juwan Jennings and Tyler Warren. Thank you for the super chat. Leap Link. PPR, 2 running backs, 1 flex, JT, KW3, James Conner, Emeka, T-Mac, and DJ Moore. This is a great question. This is a loaded question, Leap Link. You have a lot, Leap Link AFF, you have a lot of good players. So, JT is a must start. The Dolphins, realistically, should be able to stop Jonathan Taylor, right? On paper, the Dolphins have all of the ability to stop Jonathan Taylor. But football is not played on a piece of paper. It's not. Because in real life, when the Dolphins have to stop Jonathan Taylor, they won't be able to do it. Now, I hope, personally, that Jonathan Taylor scores 2 fantasy points, the Miami Dolphins win by 40 fantasy points, and I can laugh in everyone's face on Monday. But that's not going to happen. Because the Dolphins cannot stop the run. They are allergic to stopping the run. Jonathan Taylor is going to steamroll someone into Middle Earth in this game. I have a feeling. So I'm playing Jonathan Taylor. You can't sit him. Then you have to play James Conner up against the Saints. The Saints matchup is cupcake, soft serve, easy work, light work. bitch made defense, whatever you want to say. It's easy. It's too easy. Too easy for Connor. JT Connor, lock him in. Now. The flex question's a little bit more complicated because you have a lot of guys that are very good. I'm going Tet McMillan. I have Tet McMillan as my wide receiver 17. I feel very good about Tet up against the Jaguars defense. The Jaguars defense is not very good. Spoiler alert, they ain't very good. Tet McMillan is very good. Great contested catch wide receiver. Going to get force fed. No Jalen Coker. No Adam Thielen, who is now in Minnesota. A lot of targets for T-Mac. The safest possible rollout lineup, though, would be JT, James Conner, and Kenneth Walker. If you want to be as safe as possible, rock that way. But I'm not rocking that way. We're going JT, James Conner, Tet. That's my lineup. That's how we're going with it there. Full PPR. Just joining in is KC Backfield at 50-50 split now. We will see. Week 1, it was. But my opinion on what happened, thank you, Ramsey, for the super chat, is Pacheco gets a little bit eased in, right? He's coming off the injury. Maybe they're easing him in. He looked way better than Kareem Hunt. He looked way better than Brashad Smith. Next week, they don't have a great matchup. They're going against the Eagles. Am I going to be all in next week talking up Pacheco? No. But am I ready to take my Pacheco shares on my fantasy team and bury them in the back, right? Throw them out. Throw them in the garbage. Yell Kobe. No. Am I more panicked than I was yesterday? Yes. Of course I am. Of course I am significantly more nervous now than I was yesterday, but I still feel very good that eventually the team will push towards him. It might take a while. You might have to start someone else, but he's not a sell low candidate like you have him and you just ship him off for some other scrub, right? Like a 10th round pick. I wouldn't do that yet. So I still like Pacheco. I think he looked good out there. But yeah, I'm way more nervous now than I was yesterday. I'll be honest. Play CMC or be safe and put Myers in. I am playing Christian McCaffrey. The Raiders play the Patriots at Patriots at 1. So look, if you want to be as safe as possible, go right ahead. Tomorrow, if we hear McCaffrey's playing, I'm playing McCaffrey. Look, I didn't draft McCaffrey in the first round to sit him. I didn't draft McCaffrey because I'm going to be scared in week 1. If he suits up, if he plays, you're playing him. Because any game he plays in, I don't care if he has one leg, he could score 20 fantasy points. Do you remember how good he looked when he came off the injury last year? How many points did he score in that first game? Pulling it up. Christian McCaffrey. He scored 16 points in that first game back. He's going to play well if he plays. Again, it's an if. We'll learn more tomorrow. But as of right now, I'm playing McCaffrey. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying 100%. Look, if you are really scared, and yeah, you only have Torrey Horton, you can play him. You can play Myers, but I'm playing McCaffrey. I am playing McCaffrey. Tyrone Tracy, Garrett Wilson, Dobbins at the flex. Great question. I'm going Garrett Wilson, BJ. Now, I like Tyrone Tracy a lot for the regular season. I don't love this spot against the Commanders. This could be a matchup where they're getting smacked early and often. They're not able to run the ball, and it kind of just hurts Tracy. Tracy can catch passes, but Garrett Wilson, he's the number 1 receiver on the Jets, and he's going to get a lot of targets. This is going to be a close game. He's going to get a lot of looks. Dobbins, I think, will be the RB1 early on, but we'll see enough Harvey to where I don't think Dobbins is like a Hulk smash play. So I'm playing Garrett Wilson. I feel very good about his target share. Very, 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 very good about Garrett Wilson's target share. Jacoby or Egbuka, I would go Egbuka, Hanover. But Jacoby's a little bit safer. Egbuka or Hunter at the flex. Full PPR, up 39-9 right now. Other options in the flex include Pearsall, Cup, or Thornton. Great question. I would play Ricky Pearsall. A little off topic, but how long until we can see our underdog drafts? I'll show you how to look at them right after I answer the super chat questions. I'll really pull it up and show you exactly how to look at it. I'm playing Ricky Pearsall. You're up 39-9. You're feeling good. You play Pearsall. Should be the number 1 receiver on the 49ers this week. Should get a lot of looks in this game. He looked really good down the stretch of last season. I feel the best about him. I like Egbuka. I like Hunter. But I like Pearsall way better. I feel very good about Pearsall. I got Pearsall, wide receiver 21. I got Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver 26. Travis Hunter, wide receiver 33. So all top 33 options, all fine options. Thornton, I like, but not enough to play him. Same thing with Cup. So for me, it would be Ricky Pearsall. I think this is going to be a very, 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 very big game out the jump for Ricky Pearsall. I think he's going to come out the gate hot. So I like Ricky Pearsall a ton. I project he's going to get a lot of targets here with Brock Purdy feeding him. So I like him a ton. Okay, we're going to keep streaming, obviously. We're going to keep answering questions, but I'm going to pull up Underdog. I forgot who asked the question, but I'm going to show you how to look at the drafts they've done. Share screen. Okay. So you go to live, then you go to best ball. It's the same thing on the phone. And then you go to 2025 season, and then you can look at all your teams. I did $1,000 draft, so I'm winning $141. Oh, Nick, you suck. Week 1 isn't even over yet, okay? But that's how you do it. You go to drafts, then you just go to live, and it said daily. You click best ball, you select NFL, and you can look at it on here. That's how you look at it. Hope that helped you. Yeah, I would go. I'm going Pearsall. I feel very good about him. Just making sure I'm not missing any super chats. Next question. Geno Smith is an upgrade. I agree. Only asking because, yeah, no, I get that. If you want to play Jacoby, go ahead. Golden or Ridley? Golden. What is this GIF? Can I get it copied from here? It's not letting me copy it. Motherfucker. Ever seen the Lonely Island music video where, like, I'm on a boat? Oh, it's not even letting me copy it on YouTube either. Why is YouTube being stupid? I wanted to see the GIF. A-Chain, Hulk smash tomorrow? Yeah. Duh. Yeah, so if you need any more help, Chase, let me know, but I think I just showed you. Christian Watson's not going to play. Smash the like button. Facts. 49ers and GB are Bills and Green Bay defense for the year. Oh, man. I don't like looking at the defenses for the year because you're just going to be changing them so often. But the best defenses, I think, out of that group would be the Bills and Packers. I would say that's a pretty even trade. I don't think you really won or lost that trade. You're still going to be a stud, I agree. Rams or Commanders? Rams. Need Tucker Kraft to have a good game. I think he could. Trade Algier for Scattaboo. To me, that's basically... do you have Bijan? If you don't, go ahead and do that. Oh, you have Bijan and Jalen. Yeah, your team's good. It's just a pretty even trade. Pearsall or Tet. McMillan or Sutton? I think I have Sutton, right? Yeah, Sutton. No, I have McMillan over Sutton. I have Sutton 20, McMillan 17. It's a toss up though. Flex, Pearsall, Charbonnet, Ollie Gordon, Pearsall on half PPR. Start Travion Henderson or Judy. Look, I love Travion Henderson. I think Judy is safer, but I'm playing Travion Henderson because I am worried that Judy is not the clear wide receiver 1 on the Browns. Am I saying that's like a guarantee? No, but I'm worried about it. I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit nervous. I won't lie to you. Gun to the head. If it's my team, I'd probably play Travion Henderson, but Judy is safer. So if you don't play Judy, go ahead. I can send a pick on Discord, but my live drafts have an order to say stay tuned. Okay, yeah, send in the Discord, Chase, and I'll look at it. I always have the Discord open. So send it in the Discord. I'll look at it right now. RJ Harvey, decent RB2 tomorrow. See, I don't trust him, to be honest. But if you have to play him, it's okay. But I don't trust him. JMO, Golden, or Odunze? I'd go Golden and Odunze. Agreed. Stream the defenses. Pearsall or Tet? Tet. Oh, I can see myself on here. Okay. So the reason why that's not working, Chase, you want to click. Do you see on the left side of your screen where it says daily at the top left? It says daily. You click daily. You click and then you click best ball, and then it will work. And then let me know if that works. So instead of click on daily, switch it to best ball. Tell me if that works. Starting Buka, Flowers, or McMillan. Buka, Flowers, or McMillan. I would go McMillan. Let me know if that worked. Cardinals defense versus the Saints. I love the Cardinals defense. Need a backup quarterback, Daniel Jones or Russell Wilson. Are you in a Superflex league? Because you don't need a backup quarterback. But if you had to have one, I would go Daniel Jones. JMO, Golden, or Odunze. I would go Golden and Odunze. Drop Chubb for Judkins. That's fine. That's fine. No problem, Chase. JMO and Odunze. Would you pick up Ollie as a stash? Yes. Does Quentin Johnston have value this year? Yes, but not instantly. It's going to take some time, and it's not a guarantee that he actually becomes the lead back quickly. Because when you're not at camp, when you are a rookie, when you could be suspended games, it's scary. Like if Judkins, oh wait, this was a question about Quentin Johnston. I fucking read that wrong. Read wrong. Judkins, though, I know you didn't ask about Judkins. Judkins does have value, but it's going to take a while. Quentin Johnston, yes, I'm fine picking him up, but I'm going to be honest with you. Do I trust Quentin Johnston weekly? No, because they have Keenan, they have Ladd. I do think he's a valuable pickup. He's a valuable asset to have on your team because instantly if Ladd gets whacked, we don't want that to happen. If Keenan Allen gets whacked, we don't want that to happen. But if either of those things happen, Quentin Johnston goes straight to the moon. But he's always going to be one of those guys that it's a big gamble weekly. It's a big gamble. Cup or Golden? Yeah, if you do, also that tab would change too if you just did one of those weekly drafts. I've been doing a couple of those. Cup or Golden? Golden for me. Tank Bigsby, Pac Douglas, or Wan'Dale Robinson? I would go Pop and half PPR. Look, I want Tank to play good. I just feel like Pop's a little bit safer. Dobbins or Garrett Wilson, Shannon? I'm going Garrett Wilson. Hi, Mr. Yankee Doodle. Ladd needs touchdowns. He doesn't need touchdowns, but I hope he gets more touchdowns. JCM or Ollie Gordon, week 1 or for the season? If it's week 1, I'm playing Ollie Gordon. I'm playing Ollie Gordon, but I think I'd rather have JCM. Ertz or Hunter Henry? Hunter Henry. Keenan Allen is a stud. I agree. Told you guys to draft him. Hopefully you guys listen. Week one, I'm playing Ollie Gordon. JCM might not even get more than 2 touches. At least I feel like Ollie Gordon's going to at least get some work. So I'm going to flip my hat backwards. I got to get a haircut, guys. My hair looks fucking terrible. I look like a hedgehog. Look like an idiot. My hair grows so fast. It's tough seeing out here. That's why I'm always wearing a hat. I'm a big hat guy. Even in real life, I'm always rocking a hat. If you ever see me, I'm probably wearing a Dolphins hat. I picked QJ off the waiver before the game. Ooh. Would I trade him for Rice right now? I would rather have Rice over QJ, yeah. I think Rice has like a legitimate league winner upside, whereas QJ is just like YOLO. You start him like any given week and he could score 20 points, but he's not very safe. How's married life? It's good. It's good. Thank you for asking. It's good. It's basically the same thing as not being married, but now it's just a little bit more serious, you know? And now you got to get asked, oh, when are you going to have a kid? All these other fucking stupid questions, you know? Dump Jadon Blue for Keenan Allen for the game. Feels good. Feels good. How do you feel about Tyreek in fantasy this season? I love Tyreek. I could easily see it not working, but I could also see it working, and he's like a top 5 receiver. Yeah, that was a great move. Got Jaden Reed benched. How do you feel about his season? Don't know if I should let him go. I'm gonna watch one game out of Jaden Reed before I cut him. He's banged up going into the game. It's a bad matchup. I'd be fine getting rid of him after this week because I think Golden's gonna be the guy. But Jaden Reed is still fine. Like as of right now, I wouldn't just abandon ship yet. Who's the flex you like more, Myers or Shakir? Myers by a quarter mile. Jordan Mason or Tracy? I would go Tracy. Is Samson going to pop off? Probably not. I could see him having a good game because the matchup's good, but like my thoughts would be Ford gets the first crack at it. So that's kind of how I feel. Malik Washington, Nick Westbrook, Waddle on the Dolphins take Tyreek's targets. None of those guys are taking Tyreek Hill's targets. None of them are. Tyreek's the clear wide receiver one. Now, if Tyreek wasn't there, Waddle could easily be a top 10 receiver in fantasy. And I love Waddle. And I love Malik Westbrook. And I love Nick Westbrook. And I think they're all very good. But Tyreek is not going to lose his targets. Tyreek could easily get traded, though. That is very possible. Hey, bro, thoughts on Houston, Higgins, or Thornton? Need one. If you have to play one, I would play Thornton. Yes, a Thornton. Yeah, make sure you guys are in the Discord. Tyron Tracy or Pearsall? I love Pearsall's week. Let's go Rams D weeks 1 and 2. Agreed. Let's do it. Sup, y'all? What's good? What's good? None of y'all business. Should I start T-Mac against the Jags? Yes. I have CMC, and they offered me B-Rob for Charbonnet. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not doing that, but if you are really worried about McCaffrey, that's fine. That's fine. Flex, Ollie Gordon, Downs, Jennings, or Evan Ingram. I have Tyler Warren. I would flex Jennings. Odunze or JMO? Odunze. No bias from Ron. Would you trade Derrick Henry and Olave for Ladd and Brees? Yes. Yes, I would. It says Tyreek Hill is no longer the captain on the team. Yeah, that does not matter. He could not have been the captain on the team. He couldn't have been. After he quit on the team, he could not be the captain. I jinxed McCaffrey. That's funny. Pick 2. Tyrone Tracy, but you are correct. He is not a captain. Pick 2. Tyrone Tracy, Jalen Warren, Jerome Ford, Tracy, and Warren for week 1. Houston or Seattle? Houston. Defense. Do you see Caleb Johnson being a factor this season? Yes, later on in the season. Hit like button. Facts. Golden or Travion Henderson? Henderson. And Uncle Ted, people do need help in week 1. I mean, not every single thing is super obvious in week 1. Obviously, you want to start your studs, but once you can start getting to like the flex, there's definitely questions, or if you have like 3 wide receivers, things like that. JJ or C-Mac? Did I read that? Can you ask that question? JJ, Justin Jefferson or Christian McCaffrey? Justin Jefferson. Seattle DST or Packers? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to play either of those defenses. Don't want to play either of those at all. But if I had to, let's see. Seattle. I have Seattle 15. Packers 19, so I'd go Seattle. Yeah, I want Rome Odunze over Dalton Kincaid. J Moore, Golden, and why? That's a toss-up question. I have Golden 38, JMO 34. But again, these kind of questions, when they're in the exact same tier, if you ask me tomorrow, my opinion could flip. Right now, I would lean with Golden. JMO's probably safer. Don't love the matchup for either guy. So I guess JMO. But again, it's literally a coin flip. It's really a coin flip when you get that low on it. Grabbed Quinshon Judkins. Any news when he'll play? The report is week 2, but we'll see if he gets suspended or not. Ford plays the Bengals, though. I don't know what to do. I like Ford, but dude, I don't expect him to do much. It's week 1. They have Samson. I don't love it. Still high in the Rams? Yes, very high in the Rams. Drop or keep Dak for Russ, Bryce Young, or Penix? Keep Dak. Go back and watch the game if you have any, or just watch the highlights. If you have any questions about Dak, go watch the highlights. Dak looked incredible in that game. I know the stat sheet doesn't show that. The fantasy points don't show that. He looked very good. Will Jalen Hurts remember he has wide receivers? We'll see. We'll see. That was kind of what we talked about in the summer. They run the ball a lot, so A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith were not guys that I like to draft. Now, again, I get why you would have drafted them, but I don't want anything to do with them. But I get it. I get it. I get why you like them. I think they will be better than what we saw last week, though. Is Odunze a tier above J-Mo Golden? Yes, Odunze is in tier 4 as my wide receiver 28. And J-Mo is wide receiver 34 in tier 5. Golden, wide receiver 38 in tier 5. How do you feel about Rattler season long? Terrible. I feel terrible about Spencer Rattler. Now, I liked Spencer Rattler in college, and deep down, I think he has some ability. I just don't think the Saints are a team that'll get that out of him. And frankly, I don't know if he deserves another chance to be a starter. Now, look, if he was someone's backup and he came in randomly 4 years from now, he's been in the NFL for a while, I could see him winning games if he's like on a good team with a competent coach. I could see it, but Spencer Rattler, I think he's going to end up getting canned for Shuck. You ever stare at your lives till 3 a.m. on draft night? No, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you? Dak got Carter banned. That's so funny. Xavier Worthy done? Nobody could be. From what I read, it's anything from 3 weeks out to the whole season. So we'll see. We will see. We shall see. All right, my initial plan was to stream for an hour. We're live. We've been live for an hour and 16 minutes. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new. We will go for like 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes on here. So make sure I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. But we will be live tomorrow for at least 2 hours, could be 3 hours. Yeah. We're normally live from 12 to 1. We're going to start by at least 11 EST. Could start at 10. We'll see. Who should I start on my flex? Sutton, Travion Henderson, or McMillan? Sutton. Also having Adams my wide receiver. Should I bench him? No. Play Adams and play Sutton. I'm glad he didn't throw to Brown Smith in week 1. Me too. I played against them. I have Josh Allen, Aaron Hampton, A.J. Brown, Justin, Mark Andrews, J-Mo. Yeah, your team looks very good. Again, week 1 is the number 1 week where everyone panics, where everyone gets, oh my God, they played so bad in week 1, they panic. Do not panic after 1 game, please. Do not. Debo or Mason? Mason. I have Loveland. No, I like Loveland better than Hunt. What are your thoughts on Pacheco going forward? I like Pacheco. Do I feel great about what I saw from the team? No, but I feel great about what I saw about Pacheco. I thought Pacheco looked good. I agree with you, Nick. I agree with you. Bo Nix needs to use Troy Franklin more. I don't know about that. I mean, I think Troy Franklin's fine, but I think he's gonna just hammer Sutton and Ingram all game. And I agree. Make sure you guys do like and subscribe. And join the Discord. Send this video to your friends and family. Hunter or Fax? You got to do that, Josh. Hunter or Pearsall? Pearsall from me. What do I think about CMC? What I will tell you is I'm not a doctor. Okay? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. My opinion is if Christian McCaffrey plays, you play him. If Christian McCaffrey sits, you don't play him. I really think if McCaffrey plays, you just cannot sit him. I think he might be limited in this game. I think he might score 8 fantasy points, but I think he could still score 25 fantasy points while limited. He's that good. Again, do I feel like, am I going to sit here and pretend like I feel great about McCaffrey this week? No, I don't, but I still think he's startable. What do you think? And I will have him ranked very highly. What do you think about my trade? Well, we'll have to see the trade before I can answer that. Make sure you leave it in the chat. Start 2, Ridley, Debo, Shakir, Chubb. I'd go Debo and Ridley. Do you like keeping 2 DSTs or just 1? You have Denver and the Ravens. Okay, I'm cutting the Ravens and just rocking with 1 personally. Because I love streaming defenses, but Denver, if you drafted them, you just have to rock with them. But yeah, I don't want to hold 2 defenses all season. Got an IDB question. Should I start both Chop and Jalen Phillips or Danielle Hunter and Byron Young? I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I don't know jack shit about IDP. I will never lie to you guys and say that I know something about something I don't know about, right? Now, my opinion is that Jalen Phillips and Chop Robinson are going to hit the fuck out of Daniel Jones in this game. So if it's up to me, yeah, I'm playing both of them. But don't take my IDP thoughts as like the fucking holy script. What is that they talk about in Star Wars? The holy text, right? That they like burn in Star Wars if you watch the new shitty movies. So yeah, don't take my IDP opinion to heart. Everything else about fantasy, I feel like I'm pretty good at, but IDP, that would not be. I used to play IDP when I was like 10 years old, 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I was playing IDP before most people were playing IDP. I was also playing Superflex before other people were playing Superflex, but I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that I know a lot about IDP because I don't. So I appreciate you asking the question, and I will always give my best opinion. But when it's something like that, I can't tell you that I'm gonna be right, like guarantee. Like I can't guarantee you anything I say is gonna be right, but a lot of my answers I feel very good about. Whereas I don't feel very good about that answer. I appreciate you, Chase. I got in here so late. You got a question? Dual quarterback. Whatever wires here first. So our running backs are rough. Kyron and Travion locked, or Jerome Ford and or Taylor Swift. Okay, Taylor Swift. That's obviously not Taylor Swift. It's DeAndre Swift. Should I start Kyron Williams and Travion? Yeah, no, just go with Kyron Williams and Travion. Don't even overthink that. If you have to play, the other two will be Swift. Hey, Nick. Love the content. Thank you. Ridley or Jennings? Jennings, 100%. I hate Ridley's matchup. Baker or Bo Nix this week? I have them both ranked in the exact same tier, back to back. Bo 6, Baker 7. So I'd go Bo. I will tell you, the fact that you have Baker and Bo is going to cause you a lot of issues because you are probably going to start the wrong guy every single week. Because when you have two guys that are going to be ranked very close to each other every week, that's going to cause large confusion for you. So just be cautious. Just understand that. That's going to be hard. Caleb Williams or Bryce Young. I love Bryce Young. Yeah, make sure you guys do hit that like button. DeAndre Swift or DJ Moore in half PPR. Amazing matchup. The not in Notorious is for not a doctor. Facts. I am as much of a doctor as Johnny Sins. Facts. Do you have any other similarities to Johnny Sins? No. See, I got some nice hair. He's got no hair. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're playing it safe with CMC. Yeah, no, I definitely think they will play it more safe. But again, even if they don't play it, even if they do play it safe, McCaffrey could still score 1,000,000 points. Jordan Love or Michael Penix. Jordan Love. I do like Penix, but Jordan Love. Start Fields or JJ in Superflex. Also, Swift, Egbuka, JMO, or Myers in the flex spot. I would go Egbuka, and I would go Fields. Bo Nix versus the Titans or Drake May versus the Raiders. Bo Nix. No problem, CHB. Should I play it safe with bad RB core, risk Christian McCaffrey? I'm fine. I'm playing Christian McCaffrey if he plays, just so you're aware. Penix or Daniel Jones? Penix. John Moxley beat Daniel Garcia tonight on AEW. Did he really? I don't follow AEW, if I'm being honest with you. I know who both of those guys are. I'm not a big AEW guy. I do love wrestling. I watch the WWE. During the football season, I do not. You might ask Nick why. For one, on Monday night when Raw is happening, I'm watching football. And on Friday, the last thing I want to do is watch SmackDown after I've spent all week staring at these two monitors thinking about football. So I don't watch much during the regular season. I do watch clips, though. Stop setting your lineups like it's 2014 and you're waiting on Jamal Charles to carry your team. Facts. Make sure you guys do join the Notorious Fantasy Discord. It's lit in there. It's lit. Swift or Egbuka? Darnold or Geno? Ooh, that's a good one, Geno. For show. Should I trade away Dak and Diggs for Love and Ted McMillan? Oh my God. That is such a good question. Man, I love Diggs. I love Dak. I like Love a lot. I like Tet. That's like a 50-50. I would personally, I think, gun to the head, I think I'd prefer Love and Tet McMillan. I think I would. Debo or Golden? Golden. I got burnt with Dak and Hampton, but like you said, I'm not panicking. Not yet, anyways. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Nola. I appreciate Ricky Stenicki. Yeah, I just think you can't panic yet. It's week 1. You can't get too nervous because, again, last year, week 1, Bijan Robinson, terrible. Josh Jacobs, terrible. I can't think of any other examples off the top of my head. There was a lot of guys that were just dreadful in week 1. Like, let's go fantasy data. I love using fantasy data. They don't sponsor me. Just a website where I pull information from. Week 1 last year. Week 1 in full PPR. The wide receiver 1 was, guess. Someone guess in the chat. Who was the wide receiver 1 in week 1? If anyone can guess this, I would be genuinely shocked. Who was the wide receiver 1 in week 1 last year? And if no one says anything in like the next 2 minutes, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to keep answering questions. James Conner or Travion? James Conner. Egbuka, I agree, Dad. Egbuka or AJ Brown? Egbuka or AJ Brown? It would be Egbuka. No. Yeah, no, AJ Brown next week. Egbuka over JMO and Henry. I'd play Egbuka over JMO. The wide receiver 1 last year in week 1 was Jaden Reed. It was Jaden Reed. 4 receptions on 6 targets for 138 yards and a tug. He also had 1 rush for 33 yards and a touchdown. He was the wide receiver 1. The wide receiver 2 was Cooper Kupp. The wide receiver 3 was Allen Lazard. So, yeah, remember, no, on the season it was Chase, but yeah, week 1. So just remember how stupid week 1 is when you're panicking about all this shit. Alec Pierce was the wide receiver 10 in week 1. Now, we're going to do running backs. And this is just going to go to show you why the fuck you do not panic in fantasy football. Now, the running backs actually made way more sense. But the top 5 running backs last year in week 1, Saquon, Mixon, A-Chain, Dobbins, Jordan Mason, Alvin Kamara, Ramondre Stevenson. Top 7 running backs. When the season ended, did you feel great about having Dobbins or Ramondre Stevenson or Mixon? No. So again, this is just like a good exercise. Just remember like how crazy things can change drastically from just one game. The quarterbacks in week 1, the quarterback 4 last year was Anthony Richardson. If you had Anthony Richardson, you wanted to blow your testicles off last year. And he was the quarterback 4 in week 1. Tight ends. Kyle Pitts was the tight end 4. Foster Moreau was the tight end 2. And Isaiah Likely was the tight end. Holy fuck. The top 8 tight ends last year in week 1. Isaiah Likely, Foster Moreau, Brock Bowers, Kyle Pitts, Jawan Johnson, Shig, and Kobe Parkinson. Week 1 is crazy. I got Travis Hunter in my IDP spot in a Yahoo league. Mates are mad. Different league. That's so funny. That is hilarious, especially if you're getting points for the wide receivers. Different leagues, full PPR. You like Hunter or Egbuka? Great question. In a different league, I like Egbuka better than Hunter. I think Hunter could come out the gate on fire. I just feel like just better with Egbuka. Frankly, I have just heard so much positive news about Egbuka going into the season. Every single report about Egbuka was how great Egbuka is. Everything is so great for Egbuka. For Hunter, you haven't really heard that. Now, we did get some confirmation today that Hunter is very involved in the offense, not as involved on the defense. So that's how I feel about things. Week 1, I would roll with Egbuka. Do I think that Hunter can outscore Egbuka? Yes. Right? It would be foolish for me to say the opposite. That's impossible. It's not possible. But yeah, definitely week 1, I would go with Egbuka. I like both of their matchups. I just expect Egbuka to get a lot of targets in this game. And I feel like BTJ is a significantly bigger target hog than Mike Evans is. So, and like Mike Evans, we've seen him do the disappearing act. So I would definitely go with Egbuka in week 1. I feel good about both, but I would lean with Egbuka. Mixon was the guy last year had he not have gotten hurt. Yeah, I agree. You got to just adjust. No, everyone's always going to panic. But in week 1, after one game, you shouldn't panic, but you will. So yeah, I definitely would go with like Buka, Vincent. And that is hilarious that your league mates are pissed off. Because the thing about fantasy is most people don't understand the rules. That's like one of the things that we talk about in the summer. Most of your league mates probably don't know every single rule in your league. They probably do not understand certain shit. They just definitely don't. Like a lot of the times people won't read the rules. They'll just join the league and quarterbacks sometimes get these crazy boosts. Running backs get these crazy boosts for certain things. People just don't know that. So it's a big advantage to just, read the rules. And that's why I talk about that a lot. But yeah, I'm definitely going to Buka. Javonte Williams, the running back won in week 1. Right? And then people will be like, oh, Javonte season, right? And then we'll see what happens. Yeah, that is true. That is true, Josh. Malcolm Brown, baby. The GOAT. Who do you start at wide receiver? Ted McMillan and London. Trade away Gibbs, Jamar and Pacheco for Gibbs and Zay Flowers full PPR. Oh, man, that's a good question. I think I would prefer Jamar and Pacheco. Ted McMillan, London, and it's not even close. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that. All right. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Ted or JSN, JSN, McMillan or Buka, McMillan. All right. We are going to get off in 2 minutes. Pause. What's up, Legendary One? How you doing? We're going to get off because I've been streaming for an hour and a half, and if I have to stream for 3 hours tomorrow, at least 2 hours, I got to make sure that my voice is fine. Not that talking for 2 hours is going to fuck my voice up, but I want to be locked in. I got to wake up early. Good night, Brian, man. Good night. Good luck. My work league is definitely going to get smoked. Half of them, this is their first time playing fantasy. Yeah. See, that's what I always talk about too in videos. Most people aren't playing against geniuses. Now, some of you guys might be in leagues with like a bunch of smart people, and so am I. But a lot of people that play fantasy are playing with fucking Cousin Angela and Uncle Brian, right? And these people that they don't know shit, right? Your coworkers. So rank these players. CMC, B-Rob, J-Mo, Rome, Warren. CMC, Rome, J-Mo, Warren, B-Rob. Tyrone Tracy or Ridley? Tracy. Should I be worried if Pacheco's my RB2? No. After next week, if he gets the same usage, yes, I will panic. But not after one game. I agree, Spock. Good luck to everyone. Coffee and bands with the boys. Sit 2. J-Mo, Myers, Flowers, Swift. I am sitting J-Mo and Flowers. Good luck, everyone. Flowers, Olave, Harvey at the flex. Flowers. All right. We're going to go until 10:35 EST. I'm just going to rattle off all these answers. Harvey, Ridley, Ford. I would go Harvey. Uncle Brian's not allowed to play anymore since he messed up Thanksgiving. Yeah. He took Stuff the Turkey a little too literally. Adios. See y'all tomorrow. See you tomorrow, AC. Remember that episode of The League where the hamster or like the gerbil eats the like truffle, and then the hamster goes inside the turkey, and the hamster gets cooked. Might be your compression, noise gate, noise reduce settings because your voice comes in and out. No, it's because I have all these settings on the mic to cut out background noise because during the day where I live, there's a lot of background noise. At night, there isn't any. If I just speak directly into the microphone, I know I lean all around, I move all around because I talk a lot. That is why. But I do need all those things on because all the time people are fucking mowing their lawn. There's a lot of noise outside of where I live. So that's why it's like that. And it doesn't come out in videos. It's really just a stream that you notice it. Dude, I got burned. I had AJ Brown and fucking Worthy. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Hey, Nick, need a tight end. Who's your best pick? If you're just picking someone off the waiver wire, if Pitts is available, pick him up. Hunter Henry would be a good pickup as well. Week 1, Shakir, Hunter. Tyrone Tracy or Travion Henderson. Juwan Jennings or DK. Neighbors, Higgins, McLaurin, and Judy. I'm starting Neighbors and Higgins. but nervous about MC having a bad game. Should I start Judy? I'm playing McLaurin. Pretty consistent. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like my audio is pretty good, but I do have noise gates and stuff on the thing. I also have a fan blowing directly at me because it's hot as hell in New Jersey right now. So I also don't want the thing hitting the mic. So I don't know. I know I don't have the best microphone. I got this microphone for Christmas from my parents like 7 years ago. So it's old. I don't have the newest stuff. Like mine's like a USB mic. I don't have like you plug it into the audio interface, which some people have, which would be better. Henry or Otten? Henry. Thank you, brother. Thank you too. Egbuka, thank you for watching. Egbuka, Ridley, or Diggs? Egbuka. All right. Thank you guys for watching. It's 10:36. We'll be live tomorrow for hours. So if you have any more questions, I'll be live tomorrow. If you want a guaranteed answer to any of your questions, you can either become a YouTube member down below or be a Patreon. Answer you either way. Good boy. See you guys. Peace out. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be live tomorrow. Please join. Be live at minimum 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Could be live earlier than that. Probably will be live earlier than that. But again, I don't want to guarantee, I'm going to be alive at 10. And then I'm not live at 10. And I'm fucking sleeping or something at 10 o'clock. But I will be live tomorrow. T-Law or Purdy? T-Law. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Have fun. I'll see you guys all soon. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. Dominant range starts tomorrow. Of course, definitely what's going to happen. Totally not going to lose to Daniel Jones. Is it a bad decision if I put Cedric Tillman on Flex or RJ Harvey? I don't think that's a bad decision, but I'd still probably play Harvey. Purdy all day. I have Purdy and T-Law ranked back to back. And I have T-Law ranked ahead of him. I love you guys. Peace out. I'll see you guys tomorrow.